Dear Manvel Public School, this letter wasn't supposed to be a letter. This was supposed to be a speech that would be said at our graduation. But due to a worldwide pandemic, we are writing this letter. Our journey at Manvel started in the fall of 2010. This was the beginning of our preschool year. In preschool, we had a total of 14 students, but we had 7 that stayed throughout our whole journey. Myself, Ryan, Dominic, Caden, Cade, and Michael. Our teacher, who got to experience all of the fun along with us, was Miss Brown or Miss Cassie. Preschool was filled with lots of playing and lots of fun. There was also some learning. We learned how to count and we learned our ABCs. Preschool was a year full of firsts. Our first year being a Manvel Mustang, our first time going to Turkey Bingo and the carnival while being a student. It also was our first year of going to the pumpkin patch with our class and picking out our own pumpkins. At the end of preschool, we put on a play, we got all dressed up in character, we invited our parents, and we had a party after. At the end of the year, we all said our goodbyes, but we knew that we would see each other again in the fall. The next fall came around and we are now in kindergarten. Our kindergarten year, we were joined by more friends who finished out their journey in Manvel with us, Alexis and Rylan. Our teacher was Miss Chosen. In kindergarten, we got to experience a lot more firsts. We were now in the school building with the rest of the other kids. We got music, gym, and library, and we were part of a musical that was put on by our music teacher, Mrs. Tunseth. In kindergarten, we got a nap time, which none of us seem to like at the moment, but now we all wish we had them. We also learned how to read, add and subtract, and we started keeping a writing journal. Kindergarten was full of learning and fun, but we knew it would come to an end and hoped to see all of our school friends next school year. The next fall, we all came back as first graders, and we were blessed with another friend, Taylor. Our first grade teacher was Miss Potratz. First grade was full of lots and lots of learning. This year we got homework. We learned to not like homework. Very well. Miss Potratz bribed us to get our homework done with candy, and that was secretly the only reason we actually ever turned in our homework. We started reading harder books and started taking accelerated reader tests to go along with them. We made lots of fun art projects and had another musical. We learned how to write more advanced, and we loved to read. Miss Potratz read to us the Magic Treehouse series. At the end of the year, we got to participate in the track and field day. It was fun while it lasted, and we looked forward to the next school year. The fall of 2013, we came back as second graders. We had 2 more friends that joined us, Landon and Bryn. Our second grade teacher was Miss Shanilak. Second grade was filled with lots of reading, writing, and math. Mrs. Shanilak read us the Boxcar Children. We made lots of memories. We went to the pumpkin patch for the 3rd year. We did show and tell in 2nd grade. One day we were in class and we were talking. Mrs. Shanilak asked the class how old we thought she was, and we all replied with 19. And she liked that answer. Another memory, one day in math, Mrs. Shanilak was standing underneath the analog clock. She had just moved from underneath it and then it fell. Another memory is when we were at the pumpkin patch. We had all gotten lost and separated from the teachers in the corn maze. We have remembered these moments for the longest time, and we can still tell you the whole stories behind them today. We have had lots of fun and a lot more memories were made, but sadly the year came to an end and we said our goodbyes. The next fall we came back as 3rd graders and we were joined by Logan L. We were taught by Mrs. Wagamuth and our student teacher, Miss Perkowitz. We also had another helper in our classroom, Miss McDonald. In 3rd grade, we worked a lot on our multiplying. We worked really hard on our cursive. We learned the 50 Nifty United States song as well as the Helping for London Bridge song. We did a project on Native Americans and we read lots. In science, we learned how to use a battery to light up a light bulb, and we made s'mores using candles on our spelling tests. We always got a bonus word, and most of the time it was Miss Perkowitz's last name because no one knew how to spell that. At the end of the year, we took a class trip to the interstate on and off ramps, and we picked up trash as a class with our family members. 3rd grade was another great year and was part of our journey. The next fall, we all came back as 4th graders. We had gotten some new friends throughout the year, Adele and Logan B. In 4th grade, we were taught by Mrs. O'Neill. We worked hard in our core classes. We did lots of reports, some on snakes, which we presented to the 3rd graders. Mrs. Wagamuth freaked out. She hates snakes. And we did a report on volcanoes. In art, we made name aliens, and we made dodecahedrons about ourselves. This year was also our first year going skating during gym, which our class had a lot of fun with over the years. In 4th grade, throughout the year, we played 2 different games. We played Boggle, which was a word game that we could play to get extra credit. This was optional. The other game was Homeworkopoly, which was a lot like Monopoly, but just with school-related places. This was not optional. We played this to win prizes. We went on 2 field trips this year. We went to the Project Pizza and learned a lot about produce that is used to make pizza, and we went to the Minter Museum towards the end of the year. At the end of 4th grade year, we said our goodbyes, but we knew we'd see each other again in the fall. The fall of 2016 came around and we all came back as 5th graders. This year was a big year for us. We started switching classrooms, we got the option of band, and we had a study hall. Our 5th grade year, we were full of energy all day, every day. 5th grade year was a big year of learning how to be respectful and how to be better people. We were taught by Mrs. Deline. This year was full of a lot of memories. Our 5th grade year, we worked on a lot of math, fractions, which no one liked, and we worked really hard in science with Mrs. Doob. Like I said before, we got the option to be in beginner's band. Some took the opportunity. We weren't the best, but we were trying, and it took time. Like everyone says, practice makes perfect. Our study hall, we had a couple days a week. Our teacher was Mr. Mint. We normally spent the hour laughing, looking at his drawings, or listening to the stories he would tell us. All of these memories brought us to the last day of school for the year. We said our goodbyes yet again and went our different ways. The next fall, we came back. Now we are middle schoolers. This was a transition for us, but we got through it. We are finally with the big kids, and we are considered part of them. This is what we had been waiting for and looking forward to for so long. We switched classrooms more often, and we got to experience having more teachers. We had lots of fun this year. We used this year as another year of growth, both mentally and academically. We worked really hard on being respectful. This year in science, we did a couple of experiments, like the egg drop and some on friction. We focused a lot on the Winter Olympics. We did a lot of activities with the Olympics, and we had lots of fun. We got the option of being an advanced band and choir in 6th grade. During 6th grade, we were part of the Wax Museum. We had made a lot of memories, and the highlight of the year was the UND airplane trip. We went as a class to UND to the aviation site where we learned about aviation, and we flew in a 4-seater airplane. We had learned a lot on this field trip, and we had a lot of fun. This concludes the 6th grade year. Our 7th grade year was full of a lot of memories. This year we were known as the upperclassmen and the kids to look up to. Some of us were scared of this, others thought it was pretty cool. We weren't blessed with any more friends, but we survived the year. We went to Eco Ed as a class, and we learned a lot about nature on that trip. We had a year full of learning, and we read The Giver and lots of other good books in literature. In language arts, we had written a lot of papers, and we made an alphabet book. In science, we made little ecosystems with worms and earth materials that had been studied them for many weeks. We all got to name our worms, and we came up with some pretty good names. Our 7th grade year was a year to remember, as well as an exciting time. We knew that we had one more year in Manvel, and we couldn't wait to see what we had coming for us. The 8th grade year comes with many amazing memories as well as responsibilities. Ever since we were little, we had all been told that we'd get to go on a week-long trip to Wolfridge and that we'd get to have our 8th grade graduation. As us girls, being who we are, we had started looking at a dress in 7th grade, not being able to wait for the day to come. We had it all planned out from what everyone was going to wear, and yes, we were going to get the boys to dress up, and it was going to be a miracle. We had many plans, so when we were starting our 8th grade year, we were super excited. We all came back, and we are ready to see what this year would bring us. We had our first day of school, and we were all excited to see each other. We had got into the school year, and there had been some changes around the school, like what classroom we were in, what time we ate lunch, and the new bell schedule. Now that took some time to get used to, and I don't think we made it through a whole day without asking, when does this class end? Or what class is next? Those changes were changes that we had got through as a class, except for the bell schedule, but that doesn't matter. In the middle of the year, we were blessed with not one, but 2 new friends, Autumn and Michaela. After Christmas, we were also blessed with another teacher, our student teacher, Mr. Twiddell. We had worked very hard in all of our classes. In literature, we had read The Messenger, and we had started reading The Book Thief, but we didn't get through it. In science, we studied rocks and sources of energy, and in language arts, we had written lots of papers, and we learned a lot of things about grammar, as well as the origins of Greek and Latin roots. This all led up to March 13th. This was the last day walking the halls of Manvel Public School. If we would have known that that would be the last time that we would ever walk the halls, we would have taken it and paid more attention. We all had left that Friday thinking we'd come back the next Monday, just like normal. Little did we know that we wouldn't go back again. The rest of our 8th grade year was ruined. Everything we had always looked forward to, Wolfridge and our graduation, would not be the same. Over time, we had faith that we'd get our graduation back, and we did. This is our journey throughout the years at Manvel Public School. Next are some memories that will forever be remembered by our class: playing the endless games of magic on the playground, the endless laughs we shared together as a class, Taylor and Logan's broken wrists, it is a long story, and Alexis and insurance, another long story. Memories that we'll always remember each other for are Ryan wanting to watch Step Brothers and laughing at himself, thinking he is funny, Michael being super smart and being able to solve all of our tech problems, being the bodybuilder of the class, yet another long story, and having the biggest dreams that he will more than likely accomplish. Logan Burt helping us build our robots in robotics and making everyone laugh. Kaden laughing at honestly everything and being the perfectionist. Adele being the artist and needing to draw everything for everyone on every project. Bryn being the smart and logical one, and that will honestly just think things through. Michaela being the sweetest person ever and knowing that if you ever needed someone to talk to, she would be there. Kaden being amazingly fast and having the best vertical. Cade being the class clown and never failing to make anyone laugh. Logan Longton being the very funny but very smart one and answering all of the questions when no one else would, as well as his amazing backflips. That is another very funny yet long story. Alexis being the athletic girl that everyone always knew that she would do anything to make anyone feel better. Taylor being the girl that made funny comments and not getting the joke until 5 minutes after the joke was said. Autumn being funny and always a good person to talk to. Landon being super athletic and always wanting to go outside. Dominic for being unbelievably tall and always wearing cowboy boots. Rylan always being super smart and making everyone laugh, as well as having his dream about being his farmer his whole life. And myself for being bossy and the mom of the class. We have many memories that we have shared throughout the years, and we will never forget them, as well as each other. We will always be remembered. As our amazing journey is coming to an end, we need to thank some very special people for all their help along the way. We'd like to thank all of the administration that have helped us grow up. Mr. Ray, Mrs. Swarvig, Mr. Mint, Mrs. Hiltner, and Mr. Bakke. We thank all of you for your endless support that you have shown us through our journey. Next, we would like to thank all of the teachers at Manvel from preschool all the way through 8th grade. We would like to thank you for the encouragement and teaching us throughout the years. You have all taught us amazing things, and for that we are thankful. We'd also like to thank the paras and other staff members. We thank you for never failing to make us smile. Ms. Loftus and Ms. Wallach, thank you for serving us food every day, and everyone else for making our journey special and unique in its own way. Lastly, we'd like to thank our families. Thank you for always pushing us to do our best, for showing us endless love and support. We thank all of you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for making our journey our journey. This is the ending of our journey. We've had so many wonderful moments at Manvel, and we cannot wait to make many more in the next 4 years. We are sad that this is how our 8th grade year had to end, but we are thankful to be surrounded by many wonderful people. Again, thank you all for your endless support along our journey. We'd like to say goodbye, but goodbyes are sad, so hello. This is the ending of this chapter, but the next chapter is right around the corner. Sincerely, the 8th grade class of 2020.